Welcome everybody back to the channel. We are back here on MLB 2030 show. But today it's not gonna be really anything related to the Detroit Tigers or anything else on the show 2030. Today I'm gonna go through a wish list and what I would like to see put in MLB 24 the show. Now there is a future, and I'm not sure if it's next gen or what. There is a future. Hopefully I can find it. May not be in this one. Is it not? There he is. Ejections. Now, I for sure should have gone against people who've gotten ejected or have had my own players or managers ejected on the calls by the umps. I'm not sure if this is a next gen thing or not. But I've never seen any ejections on my end, and I've not seen any ejections on the people I watch. So I'm not sure why that's in the game if it's just not going to be a thing that works. Like, clearly isn't doing the job. Obviously, that's something that should not be too much of a priority to be addressed. Maybe like top 5. I think ejections in the show need to be a thing and should be prioritized, but not the most prioritized feature. The number one thing, and I speak for probably everyone else who does franchise or road, no, not road to the show, March to October. The trade block, the trade logic, it needs fixed. It's needed fixed for years on years on years. It's just been neglected year after year, and it needs to be brand new, brand spanking new. And I'm gonna list a couple things off that have happened in my franchise in my year one off season. Corbin Carroll was traded for Yandy Diaz from Arizona to Tampa Bay. It has not worked in Tampa Bay's favor to get Corbin Carroll, as they are 10 games under 500, and right now 8.5 out of the playoffs and the wild card. While Arizona, it has kind of worked for them. They're 3 games under 500, and they're 3.5 out of the wild card race. So it has and hasn't worked, but it's just a trade that should not have happened because Corbin Carroll's younger and he's going to be around for a longer time. And Yandy Diaz, he is like, what, 30 something? Yeah, he's 32. He's under contract for another 2 years, and he'll probably play out his contract and retire, but they're stuck with him unless they trade him away. He's not having a bad year. And when we go to Tampa Bay, here is Corbin Carroll, who's, he's behind Randy, and he's obviously not getting to see the ball as much because they also got George Springer. They were one of the more aggressive teams in the offseason at the trade deadline, or trading for people in the offseason. And it hasn't worked out for them. That needs fixed. There's other instances I can go to that have just been bad trades this year. Early in the year, Seth Brown got traded from the Twins, who they signed in free agency for Drew Waters. That's a bad trade for Minnesota. They came into the year with Seth Brown playing first base, and now they don't have an active first base. Now they probably have other players that are filling that role. But Drew Waters, he was hitting under 100 before he got traded. And now he's like their third or something outfielder. And yeah, I mean, I guess if you're trying to find a Byron Buxton replacement, he's getting up there in age. Hernandez is probably not going to be around for much longer. But that's still a bad trade for Minnesota because they got rid of one of their guys that really probably could have put them in more of a spot to be in first place at this time, and they're 4 games behind us. Now, all the trades have not been bad. I will say this. Let me go to Kansas City. Kansas City traded their catcher, MJ Melendez, to Pittsburgh back in my year 1 for Tamar Johnson. Now he's under 200. This is his rookie year. He started really, really good. He's obviously on a cold streak, and he's locked up for a long time. MJ Melendez, he was a backup catcher for Kansas City last year. He got traded to Pittsburgh, became an everyday catcher, and has become really, really solid for him, obviously on a cold streak right now. But he hit 267 for them. So that's a trade that worked out very well for Pittsburgh and Kansas City because it gives them 2 kind of centerpieces to continue to build around their rebuild. I haven't seen as bad trades this year than I have in prior shows, but there's still very bad trades, and questionable trades are just sitting there and like, why is that happening? And I did just recently down the trade logic down here, and hopefully this makes a difference. That's really all you can do for the trade logic. I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make. I'll let you guys know at the trade deadline. But yeah. Like the trade logic, it just needs fixed. It's needed fixed for years. And if it's not fixed by next year, there needs to be more of an uproar if it's not fixed for next year. I also now free agency and re-signing in the offseason, I understand why it might be a little easier for the contracts to be done. I'll pull up Schoolball's contract. He did not have the best year for us. Obviously having a little bit of a cold streak, and maybe he can get that ERA down. But he's on a very team-friendly deal. Kind of like a 3-year deal right now. And this is Eric Haas. A lot of the guys were willing to come back and get new contracts, which should be easy to do if you letting them play every day and they're exceeding your expectations, they're exceeding their own expectations. They would want a big contract to stick around in town. But who says we should have gotten Jose Alvarado? We were a playoff team. We were a contending team. Why would Jose Alvarado want to come to Detroit and help out a rebuild? I mean, yeah, we give him a big contract, but that shouldn't be the only thing he's interested in. He probably should have prioritized somebody like Philly. They're a playoff contending team, but he chose us over them. Craig, he's up there in age. He didn't have a massive market, but he could have prioritized a bigger team and a more competitive team than us, and he's here. Jordan Hicks, it kind of makes sense that he's here a little bit. And he's having a really good year. Michael Givens, yeah, I guess he should be here. Chapman, yeah, maybe. Harrison Bader, sure. But free agency, I don't see in any world where if you're playing as Kansas City, Colorado, Oakland, Washington, I don't see in any world just because you're offering the biggest contract for Shohei Ohtani, you should get Shohei Ohtani. I feel like Ohtani would pick the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, Boston, because they are a more competitive team. He wouldn't want to leave a team that's constantly rebuilding in the LA Angels to join another rebuild that he's not going to see the playoffs in like the first 2 years of that contract. Probably around year 3, year 4 of that contract, but also depends on how you play the show. If you play the show unrealistically and making trades, then that's on you. I try to play it as realistic as I can. But yeah, I would like to see the contracts for free agency and re-signing be a little remastered, make it a little bit harder to keep guys around, make it a little bit harder to get guys in town, especially if you are wanting a real challenge. Also, development trades from AA, AAA, hell, even single A. Let's see here. Let's go to our catcher. Dylan should not be at B potential. He is not that guy. He cannot hit at AAA, and he's at B potential. I did not move his potential. If he's not hitting anything better than this, I'm going to have to move it down to C potential. I don't think he's a B potential guy. I don't. I think he's a little overrated, and he's only at B potential because of his age. Now, Marino Samuel, if he does not get boosted up to C potential, I'm going to do it on my own because I think he's having an outstanding year. And I believe Dylan was in AAA last year or AA last year. I can't remember his stats from a year ago. I don't have them written down. Donnie Sands, I feel like he should be at B or C potential a little bit because he did have to come up to the bigs for some time. And he's doing a lot better than Dylan. Obviously, we're not at the end of the year, but if Donnie does not get boosted from D to C, just auto-simming, I'm going to have to give him C potential if he's still outperforming Dylan Dingo. Or whatever the crap his garbage-ass last name is. He's just... It's easy. Now, rookies, I could understand. Spencer Torkelson, I moved him from an A to a B potential. Because I feel like he was struggling. And he was at the bigs a year ago. And if I did not move him from an A potential, he would have stayed at A potential, and I gave him a B. So I feel like if you're hitting under 200 or 220 with like an A potential, you need to drop down to at least a C potential or a low B potential. If you're a B potential guy or a C potential guy and you're hitting above, you can get boosted potential. If you're hitting below, your potential is going down, no matter your age. I don't think the potential rating should be on your age. And I also don't think age should be much of a factor on regression. This was also a big factor in Madden as well. Once you got past your 20s, your ratings were going to drop no matter how well you performed. Garrett Cooper is hit really, really well this year. And I'm probably going to have to boost the Lava's ratings back up just because he's going to be going on 34. And Scope is going to be going on 33, despite being really good on both sides of the ball. The last thing I think, or one of the last things that it would be cool to see new of is a new coaching carousel. Now, the show's coaching carousel has not changed for years on years. It's another thing that's very old and very easy. Dave Martinez should not get fired from Washington and get a job with the Dodgers. That's not realistic. It's not. Um, I did all I could to keep AJ Hinch around. He left us to go be the hitting coach for Washington. Now, David Roberts, he's still the manager for Washington, I believe. I don't think he left. I was just using him as an example. I also think there should be like the ability to resign your coach before the off season, or your entire staff before the off season. There's just not that option. Like, this is just too easy, too old. You can pick out the best manager, best whatever, and it's as long as you give them the contract or the money they want. It's too easy to win and too easy to build your staff, and it makes you a lot better of a team faster than you need to be. I think that's another thing that would be pretty cool to see addressed. I don't have high hopes for that being addressed. I have high hopes for the trade block and the trade frequency being addressed. Or if you don't want to address the trade frequency, I think you need to take a feature from 2K. Allow us as the players able to manage the trades more. Say, who do I want to use as an example right now? Let's go Milwaukee. Milwaukee's in contention for a playoff spot right now. Let's see. Let's say they used. Here we go. Isaac Callens. Eduardo Garcia. And Sal here. So that's 3 guys. Let's say they used him to, let's go Tampa. Who would they be interested in trading for Tampa? So that wouldn't be a bad trade. Right, all those 3 guys. Let's say they wanted to get Shane McClanahan. Tampa's underperforming. That's a bad trade. The 3 guys that I just picked out for Shane McClanahan, that's a bad trade. Give us the option to veto that if you don't want to work on the trade frequency yourself. Or they could at least do 2 guys. Or if they were offering those 3 guys for somebody like Sean here. Again, that's a bad trade. Give us the option to veto that. If you don't want to work on the trade frequency yourself. That's literally my only thought that would be good for the game. When it comes to gameplay, the show is easily the best game. 2K has nothing on it. Madden, damn sure don't have anything on it. If anyone's got The show be when it comes to gameplay, it's FIFA and NHL. Those are the only two. But when it comes to gameplay, 2K can kiss ass, so can Madden. But there needs other modes and outside of gameplay wise, there needs to be something done about the trade logic. A new coaching carousel would not be a bad touch. New rating system should not be a bad touch. New potential system should not be a bad touch. Harder re-signing, harder getting guys in free agency should not be a bad touch if that's in the game. I don't expect it to be. But yeah. Also, I feel like the home run derby should be a little bit more like real life as well. I feel like let's see, who could we use as a example? I mean, Eric Haas, Austin Meadows, they would be fine in a home run derby. I think if they could get past round one, that would be fine for them. I don't think they would win it. But let's say Meadows, he's got 18 homers. He had 24 a year ago. But say he's not invited to the home run derby, which I don't think he's going to be. Maybe I could check the statistics. We're just, well, Vladdy's probably going to be in it. I don't know. Maybe yeah. I'm not actually sure how they set their brackets in the game. But let's continue to use Eric Haas and Austin Meadows. Actually, here we go. This is a better graphic. So these guys are all probably going to be in it. Meadows might get in. He might, if it were right now. But let's go with somebody like a Suarez. 16 homers, Maybe he would want in over somebody like Vladdy or Jordan. Because in real life, I don't think the home run leader has been in the home run derby. It wasn't this year. Ohtani and Olsen were not in the derby. Somebody like Rafi Devers, down over 15 homers. He should easily want in over somebody like Austin Meadows or an Aaron Judge, just to try to rewrite his season, get his season more going. I feel like the derby could be a little more like real life, saying like, hey, I only got this certain amount of homers. I feel like maybe if I can compete in the derby, my bat could get a little bit better for the second half of the year for the playoff push. But I don't have high hopes for that being added in. But the others, maybe, kind of, I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys would want to see added in the next show. But yeah, I'll see y'all then.